I'll start with Michelle first. So I felt the same here, that people have really rapidly embraced AI, especially a lot of the agencies have embraced it internally in their workflows, processes, but also in their creative thinking. How do you think it has affected your personalization strategy?
For personalization, I feel like we've been talking about this for a long
time, exactly.
Right, personalization at scale has honestly been around for 20 years, really.
Yeah.
We were talking about contextual targeting, and all these were early forms of personalization. I think that the thing in the last couple of years has been the way that AI has transformed how we do every part of that journey. It's been used from an insight point of view, which I think was a bit underutilized.
Yes.
Until the last kind of couple of years, where we've been segmenting our audiences, learning about our audiences. That's enabled us then to group people, understand, what makes them tick. Then you can move into the bit I think we talked about more in terms of the, creating, lots of different ads to make relevant content for them. But I think the understanding of the audience piece has come a long way in the last couple of years. And we're seeing great results from it. So, it's not just media metrics that improve when we do these campaigns. We see brand metrics improving, and we also see sales metrics and even market share improve as well. So we've seen success across all different levels when we get everything right.
And I think the angle with privacy is also, every time I talk about personalization, people always bring up the privacy angle. I don't know if you both had any comments on this question around the ethical aspects.
I think first and foremost, it is the consumer. Don't break the trust. Offer that transparency. Do not break their trust. And that's going to dictate how you communicate, the images you use.
In the end, I think it comes back to the consumer. I think, how they view, are we transparent and trustworthy, how they view that content.
Agree, and this is an opportunity to actually build that trust.
Yes.
And just to make one comment earlier, because I loved your question you said around, is it actually creepy?
Yeah.
There. I think one, and people might think this is semantics, and it possibly is, but we've been talking more lately around intelligent content, and maybe less on that personalized word, actually.
Yeah.
I think it's for privacy, the connotations it can have.
Yeah.
And in the end, it is still about reaching the consumer in the right place at the right time with that right message. And so intelligent content seems to be a way of describing it that makes people feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
It is just a change of words.
Emily, what are some of your dream use cases of marrying AI and personalization?
Going away from ads and going into content. So it's the idea that, on average, consumers scroll through, I think, 2.5 hours of, on devices, on platforms a day.
Yeah.
It needs to be, not only relevant to, who I think of myself as, but, what I'm doing at that moment, what device am I on, what do I need that information for? So it's actually bettering my moment or bettering that hour, bettering what I'm doing, giving me some sort of information and being respectful that, we understand who you are as a person.
We still just have to not forget that we're in the job of making ourselves memorable to consumers. We have to be engaging. We have to be memorable. So a boring personalized ad is still a boring ad, right?
Maybe if I can add to the word memorable, I think in the end the most memorable thing that can happen to a consumer is it might be personal, it might be creative, it might kind of touch me, but in the end I will engage with that content. It will bring me to a place where I will buy your product, your service, interact with it.
Yeah.
And I think the memorable bit ultimately always is in that last part where I actually interact. So my ideal is that we don't stop at making it personal, making the content smart, but actually taking the opportunity of this technology to really deliver on that customer experience. I think that's where the big win is.